So for today's session, uh, we will work on experimental design. But before we start, here is the outline for today's session, where we will do a recap on the research question. And then I all of you have watched the recommended and the required video that we asked you to do since last week. And then we will continue with the introduction to PAM study design before we continue with factors to consider when designing a PAM study, before we jump into the breakout room session where we will learn how to design a PAM study. So by the end of this session, you will be able to list the factors to consider when you design a PAM study, and you will be able to design a PAM survey according to your research question, and also like whatever the real world constraint that is happening in surrounding your research. So for today's session, I will introduce you guys to the both of the instructor for today, which will be Dasi, Ong, and also Prof. Pram. And Dasi is a PhD student from University Science Malaysia, and she's an expert in frog. And also she's an alumni of BIT year 1. And Prof. Pram is a professor in University Atma Jaya, Yogyakarta, and his research focus on biodiversity conservation and bioacoustic monitoring. Not only, he's also an alumni of BIT Year 1. He's also involved in another program under the Kelly Sayang Center, which is the LIFA program, which is about the migratory birds in the EAAF flyway. So yeah, and these slides were done originally made by Yenyi, by Ben, and also by Riri. So yeah, take it away. Let's see.
Let me share the screen. Where is it? Here. Okay, everyone can see the screen now? Oh, why did I start from here? Sorry.
Not yet. Okay.
So let's do some recap on the videos that you saw. So the gemstone concept, a research question, is compared to a rough gemstone. When you first start, the idea is unshaped and dirty. To make it wearable, you must actually polish it by removing vague language and sharpening its focus, so it become more shiny. So for the evolution of a question is actually a good research design move through 3 stages of refinement. The first stage is general stage, the rough stone stage. The question are, there birds in this forest? Yeah, this question is actually too broad and difficult to measure. These are kind of questions that usually first timers and beginners like me are used to the question that we want at the beginning. Then the second one is comparative. So the shape stone. Is the bird community different from the coffee farm versus the primary forest? This is actually better since you actually introduce the variable to the study, the rough general study. The third one is actually the specific polish gem. What is the occupancy and detection probability of the rhinoceros hornbill across the elevation gradient? This is actually, the question is ideal. Define the species. You can see what species is it, the metric, and also the location. So a characteristic of a polished question is the first one is novel. It addresses a gap in current knowledge or conservation needs. It must be specific. It defines what species, what animal, where and when do they call or where they live. It is measurable, uses metric that PAM data can actually provide, such as call activity rate, occupancy, or presence and absence of the species in your recordings. So feasibility, it considers the limitation of battery life, SD card storage, and budget of the data analysis. This you will actually encounter in the middle or beginning of your data recording stage. So there are two types of research question. The first one is more to descriptive question. This focuses more on what, where, and when, such as the mapping of species distribution. Explanatory question is the seek the why, investigating how human noise affect the bird song frequency. So a well-polished research question, whether it is descriptive or explanatory, it's the foundation of rigorous actionable conservation science. Let's start with the introduction to PAM study design. Why we design with care, you might ask, or design at all? So PAM is actually very easy to deploy. We just put the decoder there by the side of the river or in the forest, and if the design is actually wrong from the start, so the analysis will be very hard to handle next, such as too much data. There's a lot of data you need to process or store. Too little data, you might miss the species entirely, especially the sensitive species such as insects, or if you're doing land soundscape, frogs, a cat that you can't cover from since you lose them, and wrong data type. Raw frequency range or time window is the species was calling, but the setting was wrong, so we might not catch the data type of that animal. So just a quick hands up, who had already did some preliminary or some data analysis and had run out of hard drive space or battery life on a project before? No? Yes? Yeah. Most of us will be done with battery life first before the hard drive. Okay, let's play a game. Which is better? 12 recorders deployed for 1 month at 12 sites, or option B is one recorder deployed at one site for a year. I will actually test you with several case study. If you prefer the first choice, A, you can react with a thumbs up sign. If you like the second choice or you prefer the second choice is better, you can put heart sign reaction on the Zoom. So the first case study, if you wanted to evaluate horizontal rhinoceros hornbill occupancy across a protected area, which one would you prefer? Or which one is actually better? One? No? Okay. Oh, I can't see Mimi. I can't see the reaction, or is it?
Most of them give thumbs up.
Oh, I can see it. Oh, sorry. So sorry about it.
Can everyone see the reactions when they're happening?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see it. Wait, let me just.
We can see it.
Oh, Mimi, can you tell me? Because
I will do that.
Yeah. So the first choice?
The first choice is the thumbs up.
Yeah. So which one is the dominant one now?
The thumbs up.
The thumbs up. Oh,
Yeah.
this one is actually a type of question you might want to reconsider and refine, because it is not quite refined yet. So if you're a beginner, yeah, we would like to record 12 recorders deployed for 1 month at 12 sites. But if you actually refine the question, such as our previous alumni, they actually monitor the breeding site of the hornbill. So they put several recorder, only one or two at one site for a year. So they actually put on the tree that is near to the breeding site, the nest itself. So it actually defined which one from your research question. So for the second case study, if you wanted to monitor vehicle entering the entrance to a protected area. Which one would you choose? And
So far, everyone's giving hard.
hard. Why? Just yeah, most of us would take hard because of the general question here. So it's because we might assume that there's only one entrance to a protected area. So one recorded for that site, only that entrance. But if we change a bit of we tune a bit the question, such as if you want to monitor illegal vehicles or activity in the protected area, you might want to change to 12 recorder deployed for 1 month at 12 site, the first choice. You need to consider your research question. So next, before we collect PAM data, we need to define clear goals. So easy to identify the species, easy to count it, to compare with between sites or variables, or making some experiments such as there's one case study from my supervisor previously. They actually experimented playback call from PAM and playback call from a recorder, then using PAM, they leave it there, and actually the frog replied to the playback. That's why. So some experiment also can be done in the middle. So first is formulate research question, then design sampling method. There are actually several deployment approach that we can do with PAM. So the first one is one recorder single point, one recorder at one site. If this is actually more specific to certain species like mine, if I want to study the frog and I know the frog is only in that pond, I would like to put a single point deployment of recorder. Random for some case like soundscape might be able to do the random one. Transact also depending. Actually, we have alumni that the transact. I think it's a gibbon species, so they did transact. Then grid. If you know the home range of the animals such as leopard or elephant, you might want to do grid type recording approach. There are two types of drill period that we can do. A recording type, so this is drill period. So you only focuses sunrise, sunset, night, or day. So the second one is recording scheme. Either you want to focus in the day only, it is continue the night only, or the continuous the whole day or a cycle. So you can set it 3 hours recording, 3 hours it will stop, then 3 hours recording, and you can actually save some battery life there and space. This is more to identification and occupancy. So you might ask, where to start like that So first, know your animal first. What are the animal that you study before even touching a recorder? Ask 3 natural history question. Where, when, and where does it call? So in my case, frogs. Yeah, usually we know frogs will call in the night, in rainy season, and microhabitat. Those are the things you might. The microhabitat of the frogs usually is just nearby the water body. That's the biology of it, ecology of it. But you might want to go, you might want to experiment like continuous 24 hours. So you might want to know your species, is it calling in the day also? Is it calling it at night or dusk or dawn only? You would want to play around. Is your species common or rare? Most of us is doing the rare ones. This actually affects detection probability and if effort needed. Is it a specialist or a generalist species? This actually drives spatial placement decision on how you want to manage to design where to place your recorders. So, gap and urgency. What is a fundamentally interesting or important question you wanted to answer? And the second one is what information is actually urgent needed for the conservation? Is it you want to conserve the animal only or the home range of the animal or the whole area? The next point is engagement with local and indigenous communities is actually important. First is actually we get some context of the site and species that you're studying, since they actually being around the species, such as if some of you guys studying in leopard or orangutan, you might get some insight from local indigenous communities that they actually interact with these animals. So they can give you some insights of this site is actually where orangutan usually is an example, usually stay or eat this fruit. They usually like it. They will stay around here. You might want to focus that areas. This traditional ecological knowledge and their relationship with nature actually helps in our own study also. And we can actually involve them as stakeholders when we doing the conservation plans. And this also include what is important to them. Is it, if we conserve the animal, does it help them to conserve their own place? Is it, and things like that. So design is an iterative process. First is actually start with natural history, as before understand your species before choosing hardware or schedules. Yeah, assumption kill data quality, as I mentioned before. Match design to question. So you need to design specifically to your question. Don't simply put continuous 24 hours for 1 month. It might kill some time. And it might take a lot of space and a lot of data you need to analyze later on. Yeah, it's a headache. You might want to discuss this one with your mentor. Yeah, pilot run pilot test first. Like we used to do when in my year one. Actually, the mentor actually asked us to do 1 day or 1 week of deployment somewhere near the forest, and we actually tweak to our own species, like frogs calling 4 to 12K of frequency is example. So we just tweak, we just take that period instead of just recording the whole frequency. Next, we will explore the specific factors requiring careful consideration in PEM study design. This one, I will pass it to Pram.
Maybe
Thank
you.
before
Okay.
we could pause for questions.
Oh, yeah.
Research questions.
Any questions?
All good.
Okay.
All good, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dasi. Go,
Dasi.
go ahead, Pak Pram.
Okay, thank you. Terima kasih, Mimi. Thanks, Jesse, for the introduction for research question and also about the designing the research using PAM. So, to make our class more colorful, I will deliver in Bahasa Indonesia, ya. Okay. Okay. Oh, I already can control, yeah. No, it's not working yet. Jesse.
Wait, let me stop remote control. I'll share it. Where are you again? Okay, yeah. I just let you control my screen now. Can?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Second next, Pak.
Oh,
Not yet? No? Just now it
No,
works.
not working on my
Okay.
screen.
Yeah, one more time. Stop share. I'll just share it one more time. Maybe it works this time. Remote control to, yeah. Can you try? Tekan next. Hopefully can.
Next. No.
No, it's okay. I can control it for you if you want.
Okay, next slide, please.
Yeah, I just remote control. Yeah, there.
Yeah. No, it's not working.
This one?
No.
Oh,
What's wrong?
is it in screen Pram saja kah yang tak nampak? Gerak.
Gerak je ni Pak Pram.
Well, can I share from my
Boleh.
computer then?
Dasi. Okay.
I just stop share lah.
Go ahead Pak Pram.
Okay. Share screen ya. Hopefully it's working. Oh, no. Sudah kelihatan?
Ya,
Ya,
nampak kita.
nampak. Okay.
Sudah kah?
Ya.
Sudah Pak Pram.
Oke, baik. Selamat malam. Saya akan coba menambah informasi lebih detail, terutama dengan faktor-faktor apa yang harus kita perhatikan ketika kita akan memulai menempatkan alat perekam kita. Pada intinya ada dua aspek utama. Yang pertama terkait dengan ruang, space, atau di mana kita meletakkan alat-alat kita. Dan yang kedua terkait dengan waktu. Ya, itu kaitannya dengan kapan itu bisa kaitannya jadwal maupun berapa lama dia. Oke. Sedangkan untuk ruang nanti kaitannya dengan sampling strategi di mana ditempatkan dan juga ini konsekuensinya kita butuh berapa banyak alat. Itu kalau asumsinya kita punya anggaran sehingga bisa beli berapa alat itu ya. Atau nanti bagaimana strategi kalau kita hanya punya satu alat. Oke, faktor yang pertama kaitannya dengan penempatan alat secara ruang itu ada beberapa aspek yang harus kita perhatikan. Ini kaitannya dengan skala studi kita. Apakah kita mau meneliti pada satu tipe habitat yang sempit atau dalam tipe yang lebih luas, lanskap, tentang alam, atau bahkan suatu pulau atau antar negara. Nanti saya ada contoh tentang kajian yang cukup luas gitu ya. Kemudian juga kaitannya lebih sempit, itu luas areal tentu mempengaruhi tentang penempatan alat. Dan tadi juga sudah disinggung Desi tentang pentingnya kita memahami betul spesies target kita. Kenali betul spesiesmu, karena dalam konteks ini kita harus tahu baik itu spesies sebagai sumber suara dan juga tentu spesifikasi alat kita juga bisa mempengaruhi kaitannya dengan jarak deteksi dari satu spesies. Jadi beberapa hal yang harus kita perhatikan terkait dengan penempatan alat. Ini tadi sudah disinggung oleh Desi dan lebih detail sedikit kaitannya dengan strategi sampling kita. Ya, ini juga terkait tadi pertama tujuan riset kita pasti penting dan juga bagaimana ketersediaan alat yang kita miliki gitu ya. Nah, kalau kita target pada spesies yang sedang bertelur misalnya atau bersarang, tentu kita bisa menggunakan single point dan ini beberapa kali contoh saya lakukan untuk burung-burung yang sedang bersarang itu cukup satu kita taruh di dekat sarang burung itu atau burung yang sedang roosting di daerah tertentu gitu ya. Atau kita kalau lebih luas dan pada tipe habitat dengan berbagai macam tipe habitat kita bisa melakukan stratified sampling strategi karena habitat berbeda-beda sehingga kemudian alat bisa kita letakkan secara sistematis atau secara random pada tiap tipe habitat ya. Atau bisa juga kalau kita ingin mengetahui bagaimana kondisi suatu komunitas satwa di suatu rentang kondisi habitat misalnya sesuai dengan ketinggian, kita bisa menggunakan modifikasi dari transect dan masing-masing jarak tertentu kita letakkan alat perekam kita gitu ya. Kita ingin mengetahui gradien habitat sesuai dengan ketinggian atau bisa sesuai dengan tingkat gangguan yang dialami oleh habitat tersebut. Atau kalau kita juga mempunyai kondisi habitat yang seragam, kita bisa menempatkan secara sistematik. Tentu ini konsekuensinya alat yang diperlukan lebih banyak gitu ya. Kalau kita mau menggunakan penelitian bioakustik untuk kepentingan modeling distribusi atau modeling okupansi, maka ini salah satu pendekatan yang bisa kita gunakan. Tadi sudah disinggung terkait dengan kemampuan mendeteksi, dan kembali lagi di sini adalah kita harus tahu target spesies kita, seberapa jauh suara itu bisa kita tangkap. Jadi ini kaitannya dengan sumber suara. Ya, masing-masing spesies punya kemampuan suara, frekuensi suara yang beda-beda, dan itu mempengaruhi tingkat keterdeteksian. Ya, ini penting juga. Jadi sudah disinggung Dasi juga, bagaimana kita melakukan suatu pilot project apabila kita misalnya mau target spesies tunggal. Nah, bahkan penelitian terkait dengan itu, dengan model-model ini yang menurut saya perlu dikembangkan gitu ya. Kayaknya untuk burung elang Jawa itu berapa sih jarak terdeteksinya, dan mungkin juga kaitannya dengan alat yang berbeda, tipe-tipe alat atau merek alat bisa kita bandingkan juga. Itu sudah bisa menjadi satu tipe pertanyaan riset yang menarik itu ya, yang belum banyak dikerjakan. Perilaku lain yang harus kita pahami, terutama untuk spesies yang mempunyai perilaku teritorial, atau kita juga harus tahu home range dari suatu spesies, karena dari situ akhirnya kita bisa menempatkan alat rekam kita dengan lebih tepat gitu ya. Tentu ada spesies yang mempunyai mobilitas sangat tinggi, sementara ada juga yang sangat sempit. Ya, ini tentu mempunyai pendekatan sampling yang berbeda juga gitu ya. Berapa banyak jumlah perekam yang kita perlukan ya? Ini pertanyaan yang mendasar, yang tentu kembali lagi dalam perencanaan kita bisa menentukan hingga konsekuensi biaya pembiayaan itu, sehingga kita butuh berapa alat sih gitu ya. Kalau itu memungkinkan, sehingga itu bisa jadi menjadi perencanaan yang ideal, karena dengan banyaknya alat kita bisa secara spasial bisa mengcover yang lebih baik, sehingga untuk menentukan mendeteksi suatu spesies itu dengan alat yang banyak dan kita tempatkan di spasial lebih luas akan lebih baik ya. Namun kalau kita terbatas, kita punya pendekatan yang lain dengan rotasi, di mana alat itu bisa kita tempatkan dari satu tempat kemudian pindahkan ke tempat yang lain gitu ya, dengan keterbatasan alat yang ada. Dan tentu ini supaya keterwakilan waktu juga bisa tidak menimbulkan bias, kita juga harus secara hati-hati untuk melakukan pengaturan penempatan alat itu. Nanti ada contohnya yang juga salah satu proyek yang saya terlibat, itu bagaimana rotasi perekaman sesuai dengan waktu gitu ya. Ini contoh di sini kalau kita punya 20 lokasi, sementara kita hanya punya 5, maka bagaimana kita merotasi alat-alat itu gitu ya. Kemudian faktor ketiga, masalah waktu. Dua faktor pertama tadi terkait dengan ruang spasial. Sekarang kita kaitannya dengan waktu. Bagaimana kita melakukan penjadwalan perekaman itu ya. Nah, ada pendekatan secara umum kita bisa melakukan secara kontinu atau kita melakukan secara siklus. Bali tentu ini ada masalah trade off kaitannya dengan keterbatasan dari Pram itu, terutama kalau itu kan masalah kapasitas memori dan juga masalah baterai ya, masalah energi yang diperlukan. Di samping tentu tadi ada masalah storage untuk data-data yang kita miliki. Ya. Dalam beberapa kasus saya cenderung awal secara kontinu 24 jam, khususnya untuk daerah-daerah yang dekat, yang aksesnya relatif dekat, sehingga nanti dalam penggantian baterai maupun memori card-nya itu tidak begitu susah gitu ya, hingga 24 jam pagi sampai sore. Namun kalau kita punya tujuan tertentu, misalnya targetnya untuk spesies nocturnal, ya tentu itu disesuaikan, ya. Atau kalau kita memang ingin 24 jam, sementara kita punya keterbatasan dalam memori dan juga ingin menghemat untuk baterai, ya kita buat siklus waktu jam-jam tertentu, yang itu kita harapkan nanti kita bisa tetap mendapatkan data yang mewakili untuk bisa menjawab pertanyaan penelitian kita. Dan tentu harus diperhatikan bahwa makin banyak data, berarti makin banyak waktu kita perlukan untuk analisis, untuk mereview. Yaitu yang sering kita lupa, karena ada kecenderungan kita itu berpikir mumpung di lapangan, maka kita cari data sebanyak-banyaknya gitu ya. Ya, saya pun masih sering tergoda semacam itu. Kemudian faktor keempat yang terkait dengan waktu, kaitannya berapa lama sih kita akan memonitor. Itu bisa kaitannya dengan waktu rekaman atau durasi lapangan atau kaitannya dengan rentang waktu, ya, apakah kita mau dalam 1 tahun penuh atau musim tertentu saja atau musim tertentu pun dalam berapa hari dalam 1 minggu dan seterusnya. Dan itu kembali selalu itu kaitannya dengan tujuan dari penelitian kita itu apa, tujuan monitoring kita apa gitu ya, apakah mau jangka pendek atau musiman gitu ya. Kemudian kembali target spesies kita itu apakah spesies yang jarang, spesies yang sangat kritik gitu ya, sulit kita temukan, sehingga bagaimana strateginya untuk mendapatkan data yang kita perlukan gitu ya. Kemudian juga kaitannya dengan gangguan-gangguan yang ada di sekitar itu tentu juga akan mempengaruhi strategi kita di dalam perekaman. Ya. Untuk protokol memang kemudian belum ada standar secara pasti kaitannya dengan ini, sehingga ini kembali juga kita perlu juga melakukan pilot project atau bahkan secara khusus kita melakukan riset yang terkait dengan masalah ini. Gitu ya. Oke, nah saya akan memberi contoh beberapa riset yang saya lakukan. Ini beberapa teman yang masuk dalam P3, mungkin beberapa juga membantu saya untuk melakukan pengambilan data dan juga analisis. Yang pertama, penelitian saya untuk burung gelatik Jawa, gitu ya. Saya mencoba ke depan ada satu program monitoring jangka panjang dengan menggunakan bioakustik, dan paling mudah dengan spesies yang terancam punah ini tentu kita perlu mengidentifikasi di mana dia berkumpul, dan sudah teridentifikasi beberapa lokasi di kota Yogyakarta. Ada yang di daerah-daerah yang merupakan daerah habitat binaan atau artificial habitat, itu ada di kampus UGM, kemudian ada di Candi Prambanan, sementara ada juga beberapa kawasan habitat di kawasan Kars di daerah Gunung Kidul gitu ya. Nah, tiap lokasi itu saya sudah menempatkan 1 unit audio mod per lokasi, dan karena ini binatang atau burung siang, maka settingnya hanya jam 5 pagi sampai jam 7 sore secara kontinu gitu ya. Dan menarik, grafik ini harapkan nanti bisa menjadi dasar untuk mendapatkan strategi yang lebih efektif, efisien. Ya, ada perbedaan antara daerah kars dan daerah kota itu ya, ada cara bagaimana kehadiran burung di daerah itu ya. Itu contoh pertama ya. Jadi kemudian contoh kedua ini Mas Oki juga membantu saya masuk tim untuk melihat bagaimana komunitas burung di beberapa tipe habitat hasil dari restorasi di Kuari, bekas tambang kapur untuk semen di pabrik semen 3 Ruda ya di Citerep gitu ya. Nah, kami memutuskan ada 10 site yang merupakan perwakilan dari tahapan-tahapan restorasi. Masing-masing kita tempatkan, kita letakkan 1 unit audio mod. Dan karena kini ingin juga melihat burung-burung diurnal maupun nocturnal, maka kita setting 24 jam continuous gitu ya. Dan dari data setting awal punya 2 minggu, tapi dalam pelaksanaan karena ada masalah teknis di baterai terutama, sehingga ada beberapa yang hanya dapat 1 minggu saja gitu ya. Ini contoh yang kedua. Kemudian contoh yang terakhir di sini ada juga teman-teman yang terlibat untuk kolaborasi global dari salah satu mahasiswa postdoc di Cornell untuk membuat program ini, namun disingkat campus ya, yang melibatkan ada 23 kampus secara global dari 12 negara, dan di Indonesia ada 4 kampus, cakup di Bogor, di IPB, kemudian di Jogja ada 2 kampus, di Atmajaya, di Gajah Mada, nih ada anggota tim yang terlibat di sini, Mbak Via di UGM, dan juga di Malang, Mbak Nirmala ya, dan Mbak Riri masuk juga dalam kelompok ini. Nah, ini yang menarik bahwa karena keterbatasan anggaran mungkin ya, maka masing-masing kampus hanya dapat 1 unit ya, sementara ini butuh sampling yang cukup banyak, dan untuk di dalam kampus itu proporsional sesuai dengan luas kampusnya, sementara untuk yang di kota sekitar kampus itu masing-masing kota 30 titik. Nah, sehingga ini yang metodenya pakai rotari ya, pindah. Jadi dalam 1 titik kita pada pagi hari, karena kita targetnya adalah down chorus, itu jam 5 sampai jam 7 pagi, 1 titik 15 menit, dan setelah itu pindah ke titik yang lain. Ya, ini namanya seperti point count, tapi menggunakan PM gitu ya. Dan ada 3 kali ulangan, dan intervalnya itu 3 minggu, tiap titik itu ya, tiap waktu ulangan itu. Dan ini yang menarik bahwa siklus tadi, masalah waktunya kita perhatikan supaya waktu samplingnya di dalam 1 titik itu mencakup waktu antara jam 5 jam 7 gitu ya. Jadi kita clear ketika misalnya pada musim perekaman pertama itu dilakukan perekaman pada waktu yang pertama jam 5 gitu ya. Kemudian nanti pada ulangan yang kedua itu mulai jam 15. Jadi itu kita clear itu ya. Jadi ini strategi yang dimana kita hanya memiliki 1 alat saja dengan memindah-mindahkan alatnya. Oke, itu tadi 3 contoh konkret yang sudah kita terapkan. Moga-moga memberi gambaran tentang 4 faktor utama tadi yang kita gunakan sebagai pertimbangan di dalam kita menentukan sampling design di dalam file. Dan satu hal yang penting di sini bahwa strategi sampling dalam penelitian apapun itu sangat tergantung pada riset question kita ya, dan juga faktor logistik atau faktor hambatan-hambatan yang di lapangan yang akan kita hadapi. Oke, kira ini slide yang terakhir dari saya, detail kaitannya dengan strategi untuk survei PEM. Ya. Oke, silakan kalau ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan itu. Terima kasih, waktu saya kembalikan ke Mimi.
Terima kasih Pak Pram. Is there any question from you all? Oh, Alfian, seems like you have a question.
Yeah, can I use Indonesian language?
Boleh.
Oke, mungkin pertanyaan untuk Pak Pram ya, Pak. Ini lebih tepatnya bukan
silakan,
pertanyaan,
Alfian.
tapi konsultasi, Pak. Nah, ini kan proyek saya ini kan ditempatkan di 2 titik yang berjauhan, antara di Menoreh, perbukitan Menoreh, di Yogyakarta, dan Alas Purwo, Taman Nasional Alas Purwo. Kalau menurut Bapak, lebih baik diselesaikan dulu di Menoreh, lanjut ke Alas Purwo, atau semisal diseling-seling, Mbak, dikasih Alas Purwo Menoreh, Alas Purwo Menoreh, Alas Purwo Menoreh. Takutnya nanti perbedaan musim penghujan sama kemarau itu akan mempengaruhi data, Pak. Terima kasih, Pak.
Oke, langsung dijawab ini. Ya. Nah, justru tadi faktor terakhir yang kamu sebut tadi, Alfian, itu yang harus diperhatikan gitu ya, supaya tidak ada bias yang nanti untuk kalau ingin membandingkan, memang sebaiknya kita dilakukan secara paralel gitu ya. Nah, kebetulan alat yang akan diperoleh nanti kan ada 4 ya, setahu saya. Masih 4 ya, Bu Wendy ya? 4 sehingga bisa di alat Koro 2, di Jatimulyo 2 gitu toh. Sehingga nanti strategi dengan memindahkan tadi rotasi alat itu bisa dilakukan ya. Jadi saya kira akan lebih baik daripada selesaikan dulu di Jatimulyo, tapi konsekuensinya nanti untuk membandingkan bisa jadi ada faktor bias waktu ya, karena perbedaan waktu yang berbeda ya. Oke, silakan Wendy, kelihatannya mau menambahkan.
Tidak, hanya saya memang
Oh,
ada
sama
pikiran
tadi ya.
sama sebelum Pak Pram mulai ngomong.
Oke, ya, terima kasih.
Oke Pak, ada lagi Pak, boleh Pak?
Boleh, masih ada waktu ya Mimi ya.
Boleh.
Satu lagi Pak mungkin Pak. Nah ini kan
Ya.
tadi ada yang cycle, ada yang continuous untuk waktu
Continuous ya.
perekaman.
Ya.
Nah, dulu pas saat penelitian S2 saya menggunakan cycle Pak, tapi cycle dalam waktu yang sangat sedikit, seperti 1 menit merekam dan 9 menit istirahat untuk penghematan baterai dan memori. Meskipun saya nggak jamin semua data akan terekam, tapi cukup efektif digunakan di Jatimulyo. Menurut Bapak, continuous sendiri itu gimana Pak? Apakah modifikasi saya itu boleh dilakukan atau gimana Pak? Atau ada beberapa aturan yang tidak boleh dilanggar di bioakustik?
Nah, ya ini kembali lagi untuk menjawab ini tentu tidak ada magic answer gitu ya, satu jawaban yang benar. Itu kadang-kadang saya melihat ada eksperimen yang bisa kita lakukan, waktu yang efisien efektif untuk sampling dalam arti durasi perekaman dan durasi istirahat itu berapa. Ada contoh menarik, nanti barangkali bisa saya share penelitian yang di sub-temperate di Taiwan kalau tidak salah, yang ingin melihat waktu yang efektif untuk terutama ini masih komunitas ya, deteksi komunitas itu berapa menit gitu ya dalam itu ya, dan berapa hari, bahkan sampai berapa hari itu ya. Artinya kan dari berbagai riset ternyata dalam 1 bulan 15 hari itu cukup untuk mendapatkan gambaran komunitas, dan kemudian di dalam 1 jam itu cukup 10 menit ya, kalau tidak salah itu ya, nanti bisa dicek. Nah, itu di daerah subtemperate ya, sehingga untuk di daerah tropis apakah itu juga bisa diaplikasikan. Nah, itu yang menurut saya dari sisi eksperimen desain semacam ini yang kita belum banyak melakukan ya. Nah, misalnya untuk komunitas bagaimana, nanti kalau misalnya untuk sulingan apakah ada juga sampling desain yang beda. Sehingga tadi Dasi memberi poin pentingnya kita melakukan pilot project dulu. Pilot project dalam seminggu 2 minggu awal, mana strategi sampling yang paling tepat untuk bisa menjawab research question kita. Itu ya. Jadi itu bisa kita lakukan, atau ya kita melakukan literatur study dulu dari berbagai penelitian yang ada, yang mirip dengan tujuan penelitian itu ada enggak. Nah, kalau ada kita bisa adopsi metode yang dipakai gitu ya. Ya tentu idealnya kita melakukan pilot project dulu menurut saya sih. Atau ya kalau itu tim jangka panjang, kita melakukan riset awal dulu untuk metodologi dan kita mendapatkan protokol standar untuk riset question kita, dan itu kemudian dalam jangka panjang itu kita gunakan. Itu sih saran saya, Mas Alfian. Ya.
Oke, terima kasih Pak.
Ada yang mau menambah? Wendy, mau tambah komen? Ada soalan yang lain? Is there any more question that you feel confused on how to carry your PEM study? If not, we will continue with the next part. I hope with this next part you will not be. I mean, at least you won't be confused that much, because we are practicing on how to design your PAM study. So we would like to do, like, to formulate your research question from a given scenario, where we will separate you into 4 breakout room with different scenario, and then you need to design the PAM study based on the factor and the best practices that is mentioned in the scenario. Try to design it with your manpower limitation, all this logistic budget, and what are like the best design that you can come out with. For example, like this first scenario, like you want to study the urban birds and the anthropogenic noise. You need to understand the species richness. So you want to capture both the bird sounds and also the noise, because that's like your objective. So you plan to record into habitat types, and this is like the general context of your scenario. And these are the questions that you need to answer, and this is what you need to do to like answer this question. So we will give you about 15 minutes of discussion within the breakout room. And then you have to come back and present the answer for your breakout room. And is there
Thanks,
any
Mimi.
is there any question that you do not understand about the breakout room? Just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And importantly, in 15 minutes, this is really like an exercise, and there's no right answer, but this will be a very useful time for you to discuss with other Beat Your Three participants, just some of these factors that are important to consider when thinking about experimental design in acoustic monitoring. Because as Dasi highlighted, you can leave a recorder at one site for months, or you can move one recorder across many sites in that same period of time. So we'll now open up the breakout room, and then I have this whiteboard. I can share my screen to show this a little bit. So you'll find a whiteboard like this, and each breakout room has its own examples, and you can zoom in and out. And what you can do first, introduce yourselves to the breakout room. I can write my name. I'm in a breakout room of 1. And then you can read the prompt and discuss it. And so from that, you can have a general research question. And then you can go through, based off of that question, how are you looking to capture soundscapes? What is your experimental design that you think could help answer that question? And so we have these like recorder shapes that you can move onto, let's say, the screen, different environments. This would be a dream, just sampling over. But yeah, we'll visit the rooms to see if you guys have any questions. But basically, whatever you're saying, have one person in the room at least as the note taker. So here you can write, here you could write the answers to your questions in English, or Bahasa is totally great. And then if you have any questions or notes that you that you have during this time, feel free to write that in this note space. So we'll open up the rooms. Here we'll have 6 breakout rooms, and Yeah, we'll come back at around 10:15 and have like a 1 minute share from each room. Sound good? Great.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. I'll open up the rooms now, and the whiteboard link is in the chat.
So from room 1, Luna, Luis, Farhan, Shapta, Hidayatu, who's gonna like give one takeaway?
Is it me?
Maybe. Oh, okay. You go
Luis?
ahead, Farhan.
Okay. So hi everyone. So I will present on our first scenario, which is we will study on the urban birds and also anthropogenic noise. Okay. So we want to understand the bird species richness and how anthropogenic disturbance affect their dawn chorus behavior in the city, which is in the East Java, Indonesia. So in this area, we will like to cover the urban area and also open green spaces such as parks and also campus in the middle of the city. So we would like to capture both bird sound and also noise, and we plan to record the soundscape of these two habitat types. Okay, so first of all, is our research question. Can you zoom for me, Lubis? Okay, thank you. Okay, first of all, is our research question. The first one is, are there any differences of bird richness in both habitat? Because we want to study the bird richness. And the second one, we would like to know how anthropogenic disturbance affect their dawn chorus behavior. Okay, for this study, how long do you plan to record at each site? We are planning to record for 6 months for each site, which is the urban area and also the green area, because another 6 months we need to analyze them, because our durations of the study is 12 months. And the importance limitation is we lack of recorders because the recorders supply is only 2 units, and maybe the stolen devices because we need to put the recorder at the urban area, so we think it might be stolen. So we is it the one of the limitation we still consider it. And then for the recorder spacing, deployment, and also design, we plan to put the single point at each site, one recorder at each site, and rotate every week for the place that we didn't cover yet, because the size for the area we need to cover is about 3.14 kilometer square. Okay, and then how often you be able to assess them, which is every week, because we worried that the recorder might be stolen, and also we need to rotate the recorder. Okay, some of this discussion, this we need to rotate because to cover the wide area, and it would be difficult to find the safe place. Okay, so this is the area. Okay, it would be sorry, can you, okay. It would be difficult to find the safe place for the recorder, especially in the urban area. And it would be difficult to analyze the data, especially from the urban area, due to many different kind of sound. And that's all from our team.
Thank you, Farhan. Yeah, I think that's a great example of a design, and definitely in an urban area, you have the advantage of sites being very accessible. And so being able to rotate recorders, as you said, every week, for 6 months, that would give you 24 sites in noisy areas and 24 sites in more green areas potentially. And there you have a really large sample size at that point, or a much larger sample size than if you were to just keep those recorders fixed. And so, yeah, I hope that was a great example. We can post these whiteboards on Canvas if you're interested in seeing some of the other learnings from the other breakout rooms. I should also add that these were all based off of projects from BEAT year 1 and year 2 teams. And so now you'll have, something to talk with June about, let's say, who looked into these disturbed lowlands, or Yenyi for the soundscape patterns, or Riri and Pram for urban birds, and more. So thank you, Farhan, again for sharing. And now I'll turn it over to Mimi and Esther, who can close the program for today.
Thank you, Ben. Sorry that because due to time limitation, we cannot discuss all the scenario, but you guys can always access the whiteboards. And there's no right or wrong answer. You can always keep on discussing about this and ask for others' opinion about it, especially all the bit organizer. So thank you for both of our instructor, Dasi and also Pram, for their excellent presentation. And also thank you for Ben helping us with the breakout room and all the discussion session. I'm sure that the breakout room discussion can be helpful in for you guys in determining all your research question in the near future before you guys got your equipments. And talking about the equipment, I would like to ask Wendy to do some housekeeping on the device equipment and also on the mentoring first meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mimi. So little housekeeping. Our friend, colleague, and co-organizer and Beat Year 1 alumnus, Ben Buckley, has shipped out recorders, hard drives, and SD cards to 3 teams that we actually had the equipment already in Indonesia when my students and I traveled there in December. So the Cyclops team, the Lariang Tarsier team, and I believe the Malang team. Your recorder should be on the way. I have the tracking information, so get in touch with me if you want to track your recorders in real time. For the other teams, we are waiting for the second shipment to arrive. It should be today, maybe tomorrow. And so I don't know how many days it might take to get all of the recorders to everyone's homes and offices. But I will certainly keep the Google Sheet updated as we... Actually, I can put the tracking numbers in the Google Sheet that the team leaders filled out with the shipment. So that's it for equipment. If anyone has questions, definitely get in touch with me directly. But we hope all the teams have your recorders in hand within 2 weeks, maybe sooner. And then for the mentors, just a reminder, we hope that the mentors connect with your teams sometime before the June 5th training session. So sometime in the middle of May, we hope that you can check in with your teams, make the introductions, and help make sure that they're getting off to the right start, know how to use their recorders, and all of that great stuff. So mentors, just one more friendly reminder to you. And for teams who haven't heard from your mentors yet, please reach out to me, and I'm happy to help chase people around a little bit. I think that's all from me. Thanks, Mimi.
Thank you, Wendy. Also for the PR, Ben, do you want to talk about it? Or I can just remind them that we will give the PR. It's in Indonesia. I forgot. What is PR again?
pekerjaan rumah,
Pekerjaan
PR.
rumah.
Homework, homework,
Yeah.
homework.
So like PR, PR for Indonesian folks and also homework for Malaysian folks. We will remind you guys about that a bit later in the group, WhatsApp group or group. Yeah, and I think that's all for today's session. If you guys have any question about anything, you can just like reach out to any of us in the group. And as usual, please open your camera because we're gonna have like some fun taking pictures. It's gonna be like two sessions because I have like two. Okay. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. Wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Do you guys want 2 set or only 1 set? 2 set.
I think one is fine. No, we do this every week, right?
Oh, yeah, true. But I mean,
If you make a different face next week, God.
in case someone like closing their eyes or something, but I don't know. I don't mind. But yeah, next week, based on Sham. Next week, new phase, okay? Thank you, everyone. See you guys next
All right,
week.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank
See you next
you.
week.
Okay,
Bye,
thank you
everyone.
guys. See you
Have
next
a
week.
so
nice
much.
rest.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
Enjoy your
nice
trip,
Thank you, terima
Pram.
kasih.
Selamat
Hi,
malam.
Luna.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.